When you grow up in a landscape with a river, the water seems to wend its way through your memory, like lines curving over the contours of a map.
My childhood memories are filled with frames in which the river features, the cloying muddiness of the winter, the heady heights of the summer, the river, an ever-present force of nature.
At the end of the day, it was always hot. We children would rush down to the river to bathe, a fitting end to a balmy summer's day.
When I was a teenager, I often sat under the viaduct, enjoying the peace and tranquility that the river gave. Once, when the Stour flooded, I went to the end of the road to see how far it had come up, and Mr. Newman rode past up Poole Road itself, shouting at me, "Go home!" because the river was still rising and it was getting dangerous.
I remember one Sunday morning in May in the early 70s at Eye Bridge. I'm sitting on a blanket on the riverbank, and the sun is slowly disappearing behind the trees. I hear ripples as the river flows over the reeds, and midges hover over our heads, and I almost hear the wing beats of a dragonfly looking for somewhere to lay its eggs.
My gran said the river in the town was called the River Wim. She was adamant about this and got very cross if I called it the River Allen. It's Wim. Wimborne.
Some 70 years ago, I used to play down the Stour. We used to find swans, ducks, moorhens, coots, water voles, otters hunted in those days, grass snakes swimming in those days, frogs, and all sorts of bigger life. And we'd see lots of rabbits and hares in the fields. And up above, a tawny owl ready to pounce.
I remember the hours I'd spend with my friend in the river. Her garden links onto the river, so I went there all the time in the summer. Her dad built us a swing over the river so that we could jump off. And we would catch slow worms and give them names. Most of the time, we would get her kayak and catch fish for hours. And we'd play in the water until we were frozen and couldn't feel our limbs. After, we would eat our dinner next to the river with the slow worms in a giant enclosure we built for them. And when it was time to go, we would release the worms back to where we found them.
The soothing sound of water against the rocks gives me the feeling like someone saying, "I'm here for you. You have nothing to worry about." The birds tweeting, singing songs make me feel like their queen. And the children laughing and squealing show me a world of happiness.
It was a hot summer's day, but one of the saddest for me and my family. It was my granddad's funeral and my mind was full of emotions. As I went for a walk with my mum, my dad, my brother and my nan, hearing and seeing the birds chirp in harmony reminded me of my granddad. Birds are his favourite animal. It always felt like he was there with us. Walking around the Stour made me happier and want to talk a lot more. Seeing the families having their picnics and people paddling or kayaking. But the funniest was people jumping and swinging into the river. My family smiled with joy.
Don't go, Dad!
I have to. The army needs me.
I wished Dad didn't have to join the army. It changed since he joined up. Mum said he was finally acting like the man he was born to be. But to me, he was almost a stranger. His hair was trimmed in a buzz cut, and he'd grown a moustache. It could have been any old dad in front of me, not mine at all. But he was my dad. Oh, Dad, I'm going to miss you.
It's only for 4 months.
4 months?
Blimey, I didn't say 4 years.
We had walked to the White Bridge over the River Allen, and there were tons of people bustling past us. But neither of us cared. Everyone walked straight past us, so it was like we were in our own personal bubble. I could hear laughter and that trickly water noise, and the sun shone through the trees. Everything looked so amazing, and everyone looked so happy, but my heart was breaking.
Humidity hangs in the air as I drag my feet through the school door once more. But then, lifting from my shoulders, the pressure leaves me. I take a breath and I push my thoughts to the back of my mind, securing a plait in my loosely curled hair, grateful for the refreshing breeze on my neck. My hands grip gently to the trunk of a willow tree, which leans over into the water, breaking its surface and sending cascades of green downward.
I balance among the branches, observing shimmers of sunlight reflect the scales of each fish that glides by, weaving in and out of the reeds.
A smile of purest joy spreads across my face. This river truly is the pinnacle of serenity, and it is the only thing I have on my mind.
I sling my school bag onto my back, abandoning my worries, and the river's current sweeps them away, never to be thought of again.
One Christmas morning, walking by the Stour with my son and daughter, she stopped dead and held her hand up and whispered, "Otters." There were 2 of them. Sitting on the bank, we crept forward, and just for a minute, they were unaware of us. Before scuttling off the bank and sliding into the river, we watched them dip below the surface. Their sleek heads rose again, and they scuttled away through the water at speed to get away from us. A fish with a flash of silver splashes into the water after catching a midge that flew just too close to the surface. I lie back, and high above me, a bird spirals in the hot air, rising from the land.
I close my eyes and hear a sound that will always be for me, Wimborne. The bells of the Minster calling the faithful to prayer. The the bell of the Catholic Church, and in the distance, St. John's.
If there's one piece of advice I'd like to give to the people of Wimborne, it's this. Just once in a while, take out your earpieces and listen to the sounds and savour the smells of the river.
And who knows, you may hear the beat of dragonflies' wings.
And so the river continues to flow its way through our hearts, memories and imaginations. The herons, the ducks, the anglers, the bridges, so much remains unchanged. And still generations of young eyes, drifting their distracted gaze away from classes and out of the window, silently watch the water, softly urging it to sail them away on its enchanting current to the beat of dragonflies.
Procession down to the square where there is a transport hub. So